Hello, nieces and nephews. This is Auntie Netta. You guys, I'm here outside trying to soak up some vitamin D. It's been a while since I've been outside, and y'all know I'm allergic to everything nature. So if you see my eyes red or start swelling up in the face, it's okay. I got medicine from that in there. All right, so I had things on my heart. Again, me and my husband, we love having conversations. Yeah, both of us kind of. Well, I know my husband a nerd, and I think I'm kind of a nerd in a sense. All right, but we were just talking about fatherless homes and the detriment that it causes on children products of fatherless homes. Am I saying that right? Probably not, but okay. Um, you guys, now that things are going on outside our homes, with politics and just the world in general, instead of worrying about what's going on out there that we have no control over, it's time for us to put our concentration, our time into these four walls, your home. All right. Ladies, when you out and about when you're young, because this is when we always fall victim to not so good relationships, and it leads to fatherless homes. All right. Be careful who you have your children with, who you lay down with. Um, Anytime you lay down with someone without contraceptives, birth control, um, there's always going to be a chance that you can wake up, you know, pregnant. um, so, with that being said, ladies, protect yourself or just exercise. Of course, words, when you're a certain age, you guys, words just poof, be gone. Abstinence is the word I'm looking for. Um, with that being said, please be careful who you have kids with, because a fatherless home can cause anger issues in your child as they get older. They would not know how to have resolutions, squash beefs, because at the end of the day, those beefs, the arguments, the fights, the whatever that happens that you see on the news, on the internet, all of that, majority of the time is nonsense. It's just, for what? It wouldn't even make sense. All right, the stuff that be going on. Okay, so right now, I'm saying that if you have a father in the home, especially if they're a quality father, I ain't just talking about another fatherless child in the home. Again, you got to be careful who you lay down with. Excuse me, that's the AC going on, y'all. We always have the AC going on because we like to, filter the air. You know what I'm saying? Um, but anywho, yes. Again, be careful who you lay down with. Let me see, anger issues. Because the men out there, real men, teach their children how to release the anger. Again, my kids, after a certain age, my older kids, after a certain age, maybe like 10, we had a fatherless home. They had a fatherless home. I got divorced or whatever. They still saw their father, but at the same time, I wouldn't say he's a role model. So, again, I always speak from experiences. Okay? With me being a parent, a single parent in the past, I was taught, because, again, I wasn't raised in a fatherless home. I had my stepdad, but I also had my real dad, which was 2 blocks down, over. So he took me to school every morning. So not only I had my dad, it was like I had 2 sets of parents that had my back. So So I'm not saying anything I don't know about. Keep your kids busy. It's okay to let them go out and adventure, life, the world, but also have them enrolled in basketball, football, soccer, cheerleading, volleyball, because an idle mind is a devil's workshop. When they have nothing to do, they come up with ideas, or their friends come up with ideas, and then they hang around these friends, and you get what I'm saying. Then it start off with a pattern of bad behavior, bad choices. And again, everything in life that happens to us is a result of our choices. Even if it's not our fault, it could be just, I chose to go to the store, so therefore I did get in a car accident. But if I stayed at home, I wouldn't have gotten in that car accident. A lot of things we can't help, but still, there was a choice involved. So again, we need to start making wise choices. I have not always made wise choices. Still today, I don't make wise choices. But to help me stay on track, I try to think of how my choices or my actions would affect others, because things that happen don't just affect yourself. So again, be careful who you have a child with, because it don't just affect you, it affects your child, your living, your future, because we all have a plan. I plan to, I was in college, I plan to be a musician. I mean, like a famous musician, because you guys, I was on the route to doing what I need to do. Later on, maybe I would share my life experiences, but right now, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about fatherless homes. All right? I know I'm going around the bend, but again, always bring it back center, and it's going to make sense later, okay? Keep your kids active. Please. I know people don't have a lot of money. If you have a local rec center, do that. We get bored. Again, just like you go on those dates, you can have the same mentality of keeping your kids busy. Go to the museum. My daughter, every first Saturday of the month, she'll go to her and my grandbaby go to Home Depot. Even my grandson goes in the state that he's in. Every first Saturday, their local Home Depot always have a craft activity for kids. So every first Saturday, take your kids there. That's free. You know what I mean? If your rec center, Parks and Recs, have events or plays that be held in your city, do that. Go to the park. Teach your kids about being healthy. Go to the trail. Walk a mile. Exercise. Again, these kids live the life in their future that they're used to or was taught. Again, all right. Be the example. All right? Be the example. All right. Work on yourself to become quality. Just like I talk about, trying to choose a quality man and things like that. At the same time, you got to be working on yourself. How can you demand a man to be quality, to be with you, but you sitting here you want to be the recipient of everything and not giving? That's not what life is supposed to be about, you guys. If we're going to make this right, we're going to do it right. All right? So, get your money up, your education, make better choices, be the example. Please, 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 please. All right. And parents, mothers and fathers, I know you may not have been raised with having certain things, but you're in a better spot maybe than your parents were in the past. But please, you guys, stop or don't give your kids everything. As much as we want them to have everything, don't give them everything. Allow them to earn something. But on the flip side of that, I would give my kids some of their wants, because if they show bad behavior, what you're going to take away that they care about so much that they want to make it right or make better choices to get it back. All right, so yeah, so you got to think about that one as well. All right, medical history, fatherless homes. Yeah, you have a baby by this guy. You rarely know him, whether it's a one night stand or you could have been dating this guy for 6 months or a year. But again, you really don't know him. Again, you have to, when you dating, you got to go through all 4 seasons. Again, I'm not talking about spring, winter, fall, or summer. Okay, I'm talking about you got to know how this person act during death, financial crisis, health crisis. You know, you got to know if you can deal with their behavior during those seasons. All right, so therefore, you think you know this person, but then this person gone. Y'all, we live in the county. You know, for some reason they love muscle cars. We love muscle cars. So yeah, if you hear a little, Cammy or whatever y'all call it going down the street, it is what it is. All right. You may even need to know their medical history. How you going to know how to proper treat or recognize a health issue or behaviors that stem off the genes of the father or their family? Their family might have sickle cell genes. You don't know, but your child not feeling well. You know what I'm saying? So instead of you taking your child to the doctor and the doctor running tests because you don't know what it possibly could be, so they're gonna run all these tests to pinpoint what's wrong with your child versus saying, you know what? My father's family have the sickle cell trait. Can you run that test for me? You see how quick that could, easily save your child's life or have the treatment for your child, the medication for your child to get well. That's why it's important to know who you lay down with, who you marry, who you date. Again, before you say I do, please go through all 4 seasons. Please take your time. I know it feels right. It felt right when I was with mine. You know what I mean? But things happen. And it could have been right at that time. Sometimes you just grow. All right? Grow apart. This person might be stagnant, but you taking off to become the person who you always wanted to be or you've grown to be. All right? So again, these fatherless homes are no joke. So again, medical history. Quality fathers, I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to swing back around to that. You guys, please work on it. People are getting smarter. Things are getting crazier. Things are more dangerous. I don't know if things are more dangerous, but I think we see it more now since we have social media. We see things more now. Yeah, there's no reason why you should be making bad choices. Not in this day and age. Everybody know right from wrong. You know something ain't right up here. You know something don't feel right here. Get yourself checked. All right? So, become quality fathers. Choose quality fathers. Be who you need to be for your future child, your future world. All right? We need more role models. How a fatherless child, gonna know how he can change things around if there's nobody to see on what they want to aim to be. Am I saying this right? Because sometimes I'll be lollygagging. I know what I mean up here, but right here it ain't coming out right. But anywho, those are my thoughts, and that was our me and my husband conversation last night. Of course, I ain't touch on everything, and I'm not trying to go deep. Again, it may or may not sound right to you, but just like the pastor in church, if it's for you, you're going to get it. All right? So y'all go ahead and follow me. Leave comments down there. Please share, because I'm still trying to grow my platform. Again, I've been on YouTube for 10 years, and I'm not necessarily couponing. If I do, I will share with you guys. So, love you guys. Smooches! Auntie Netta loves you.